While series often take the spotlight, anime has also produced some fantastic movies. Here are the 15 best anime films, according to IMDb. Naturally, viewers look for the very best movies to start their binge watching. While critical success can't be understated, a majority of viewers today prefer the opinion of fellow moviegoers. This is why the ratings of the IMDb have become more valuable, as they reflect the opinions of the general public rather than critics. With this in mind, this list has been updated to add a few more movies that make up the rest of the list of best reviewed anime to be released. Number 15. Dragon Ball Super, Broly. Introducing the antagonist named Broly, this movie was well received primarily due to the expansion of the Super Saiyan lore that it brought. With Vegeta and Goku in prime form, the battles here had the benefit of a cinematic budget. Due to this, Dragon Ball Super, Broly managed to thrill fans in a unique mixture of cinematography and high-octane action. Considering it was the 20th Dragon Ball film, the praise is quite an achievement. Number 14. Whisper of the Heart. Anime have been shoehorned into the action genre far too much in the last decade or so. Back in the day, Whisper of the Heart was such a film that captivated audiences due to the romantic comedy tropes involved. That, coupled with the very likable characters, makes this a breezy watch that should entertain even those who don't generally watch anime. A love story between a bookworm and a violin maker, it's the best option to have a heartwarming story play out. Number 13. Ghost in the Shell. In a futuristic setting, this story follows a cyborg security agent who's in pursuit of a hacker. Not only does Ghost in the Shell present intense action and solid characters, it has a lot of thematic qualities like ethical impacts and self-identity. It helps that the visual appeal of the movie is at a premium, as the action is executed with incredible detail provided by the cinematography. More than anything, viewers loved the fast-paced style that Ghost in the Shell provided. Number 12. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. A guaranteed heart-wrenching watch, this movie is designed specifically to gain tears from viewers. It definitely works, as the mysterious Princess Kaguya arrives to bring joy to her adoptive parents' lives, only to be revealed as an ethereal being. Her attempts to integrate within humanity is the main driver of the plot, although the connection she creates with those around her shows how emotions are such human things to feel and cherish. The movie was even nominated for an Academy Award. Number 11. Castle in the Sky. An absolute blockbuster back when it was released, Castle in the Sky was a technical marvel in the 80s that brings awe-inspiring sights into the movie-watching experience. It tells the story of a boy and a girl in the 19th century and their hope to find the titular castle in the sky. Another reason to watch the movie is the one-liners available, with the dialogue reflecting the characterizations of the protagonists and carving out their role simply through their conversations. Number 10. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. 1,000 years prior to this story, an apocalyptic war caused by the industrial and technological growth of humankind destroyed civilization and gave birth to a toxic forest that has since spread to most parts of the world. While Nausicaa believes in sharing this world, others aim to ride the planet of this toxic forest by force. Number 9. Neon Genesis Evangelion, The End of Evangelion. Although it first appears to be just a good old mecha series, Neon Genesis turns out to be a very dark story that explores deep and complex subjects such as depression. Neon Genesis Evangelion, End of Evangelion serves as an alternative ending to the original series and picks up right after the 24th episode. Number 8. Wolf Children. This movie follows Hana, a single mother raising two very peculiar half-human, half-wolf children after the death of their werewolf father. As hard as it is to raise young children alone, Hana's task is rendered even more complicated as she also has to hide her children's true nature from the world as they are not yet able to control their abilities. Wolf Children is an incredibly sweet and heartwarming movie filled with magic and hope that will be sure to leave a mark. Number 7. My Neighbor Totoro. For anyone who knows even a little bit of anime movies, it won't come as a surprise to find a few Studio Ghibli movies listed here, and even less of a surprise to see that most of those Studio Ghibli films were directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Of course, all of his movies are just as amazing and worth watching, but a few stand out a little more. Although not the highest rated, My Neighbor Totoro is without a doubt the most well-known of Miyazaki's movies, and one does not need to have seen the film to recognize its adorable and oh-so-fluffy creature. Number 6. Howls Movie Castle. Howl's Moving Castle is inspired by the novel of the same title written by British author Diana Wynne-Jones. The story is set in a world where magic and 20th century technology coexist and a war between two kingdoms is raging. A young woman named Sophie is cursed by a witch to live the remaining of her life as an old woman. Sophie seeks the help of a wizard named Howl who also happens to be at the heart of the resistance against the tyrannical king. Number 5. A Silent Voice. The movie explores incredibly deep and hard subjects such as suicide and bullying. A Silent Voice follows two children through middle school and high school as they struggle to find their place in the world and learn that each of their actions has deeper and darker consequences than they would have thought. Number 4. Princess Mononoke. In his quest to find a cure for his curse, Prince Ashitaka finds himself caught up in a war between the god of the forest and humans. Along his travels, he meets a young woman named San who was raised by wolves and seems to be more of a wild animal than a human being. Together, they will fight to protect the god of the forest from the corruption brought by man and their hunger for power. While Princess Mononoke is pretty graphic and targets a more mature audience, it is definitely a must-see. Number 3. Your Name. In the third position is a fairly recent movie that instantly claimed the hearts of all who saw it. Released in 2016 and directed by Makoto Shinkai, Your Name tells the story of a boy from Tokyo named Taki and a girl named Mitsuha from a small town, who suddenly and inexplicably start swapping bodies. This movie is an absolute masterpiece, from its beautiful soundtrack to its incredible animation and, of course, its unique story that grips the viewer from the very first second. Number 2. Grave of the Fireflies. At the peak of World War II, Seita and Setsuko's mother died from severe burns after their house was bombed. Seita, a teenage boy, and his younger sister Setsuko are left without a guardian and do their best to survive on their own in this scary world. Although Grave of the Fireflies more than deserves its high rating, it is important to know that this movie dives deep into some tough and sensitive subjects. As beautiful as the movie is, one should prepare themselves to enter this incredibly sad, intense, and intimate story. Number 1. Spirited Away. In first place is a phenomenon of a movie and one that beats a number of records. Spirited Away is the most successful movie in Japanese history and received universal praise. Spirited Away was the first, and still only, hand-drawn non-English language movie to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. This coming-of-age story taking place in an Alice in Wonderland-esque world filled with spirits and creatures, and is hands down one of the most beautiful and fascinating anime movies ever made. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if this was useful to you. Let us know about your favorite anime movie in the comments.